Yeah.
From Hollywood to the hood. And so people who are interested, the biggest thing is they need to stay in school. Because you can't learn a script if you can't read.
Well, you know what? Like I said before, school was for me. It worked well. I mean, I loved the theater program. But I think one thing about it, there's so many roads to get to where you want to go. Like I have a friend, I'll give him a shout out, The Rice Man. He's my barber, also producer. He produced the video for Chase, the music video. You can check out on our website.
Okay.
But he's directing a lot of videos now. And like I was saying, that film school is good, but you don't necessarily have to go to film school to start off a career as a filmmaker. You just really have to jump out there, start doing it, sometimes trial by fire. And by doing so, you're going to school even though you're not really going to school.
It's now, like this radio. I didn't go to school to be a radio person.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it does help to read. Not just for acting, but in life in general. That's always a plus.
Well, I mean, they need to be able to read.
Right.
And, we just don't want people to drop out of school because you're working at McDonald's or someplace, or you're in the grocery store and somebody say, "Hey, lovely lady. Hey, nice young man.
Right.
I have a part for you." And then you go and you make one commercial, and then you drop out of school because you made the Big Mac sandwich commercial. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it pays to stay in school to read because education is knowledge.
Right.
And that takes you further away.
Yeah.
Takes you somewhere.
Someplace nice and sweet.
So it seems like your movie that you have coming out, The Chase, it sounds like it's serious.
No, not really. Well, it is, but it's not.
It's not a comedy.
It's a comedy, yeah. It's a comedy.
Okay, you know why I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with you, and you are so comical. And I was just wondering, was the movie a comedy? But I see it is.
Yeah, it's a comedy. It has some serious points. It's based on my life, but taken to the nth degree. How is it based on your life? Well, just based on my life, for example.
Except for the older sister killing you.
Like, for example, there's a part where...
Am I in it? And I'm in your life?
Of no. But no. Like, there's a part, like, in my real life where I was living in a transient hotel while I was going through... Well, I was going to Second City, a transient hotel by Midway Airport. Okay. And I'm like, man, this may be a good experience to, really feel the artistic energy. And it was for a little bit, but then it just got, in a transient hotel by Midway Airport. But that's in the script, and that's where, the talking door comes in. So there wasn't a real talking door, of course, in a transient hotel by Midway Airport. But there is in the script. So things like that, like hitting auditions, and just... my life as an actor, different people I come in contact with, but it's taken to a different level, to the extreme, so to speak, to make it more comical.
And on a serious side, to get where you are now, it was not easy. I mean, you fly in and out, in and out. I mean, you're the fly jock of producing, fly jock of acting. Yeah. I mean, you're doing a lot of commercials. I know you have another commercial coming up.
Yeah.
On the boat.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And it's not easy, so I know you have to pay your dues, and it's a lot of hard work, and especially for African Americans, the jobs are hard. Yeah.
It can be challenging, but it's like this. I kind of look at it, my mindset is always, to use an old boxing terminology, stick and move, stick and move. And you'd be surprised. They had this really good video on YouTube. I'm kind of getting sidetracked. We do this thing called a mastermind meeting, a bunch of us. And a guy mentioned this video on YouTube with Will Smith called Will Smith Wisdom. So I checked it out, and it was great, just his philosophy and stuff, and just his viewpoints. But the point being, the basic message he was saying is that, if you really are intent about doing something, and you're going after it, that different obstacles in your way can't really stand in your way. Now, it may be challenging, but just looking at the mindset, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm going after it. I don't know if I can say the word, come hell or high water,
Well, you said it.
I'm going after it. And with that mentality, you'd be surprised when you really step in that direction.
Right.
Things start to fall into place. Boom, 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 boom. And racism still exists, but even with racism and everything else, things start falling into place. And people like to work with good people.
Right.
White, black, Latino, whatever.
Right. And once we get away from the race card will be okay. Like before we came on, my sister girl Rhonda B, we're always out together, and I'm the one that gets in trouble when we're in the street about being light. You know? And I guess people fail to see that I'm a Nubian queen.
Right.
You know, so that's the biggest thing. It's not about how light I am or how dark I am. It's about who am I, the person.
Right.
You know, it's amazing. But I would like to see what you do put into the schools as a curriculum, because they're taking so much out of the school systems that the kids have nothing to focus on.
Right.
And this is a disciplinary. It will cause them to be strong in discipline.
Oh yeah. I'd like to give a shout out. It's a separate organization, but I'm also a proud member of Barrel Monkeys Theater Troupe. And Barrel Monkeys we go into the school, public schools, and we do 6-week workshops with the kids, writing workshops. And it's great, man. I love working with the kids. Usually like 5 or 6 teachers go into a classroom, and the kids write stories. Then we go back and we act the stories out. We adapt them and go back and act the stories out for the entire school. And like you were saying, whether the kids go on to be writers or not, there's something very powerful when their faces light up because they see something they have created is actually being acted out on stage.
Now, the 6-week workshops you're speaking of, Barrel of Monkeys, is that expensive? I mean, the schools have to pay for that. How can they get involved in the Barrel of Monkeys program?
I'm not sure about how much they charge, but you can get in contact. I do believe the website is www.barrelofmonkeys.org, I do believe, is the website. You can contact, and you can find out more information.
I think that's great, because writing for 2010 or 2011, everything is going to be writing. Even when you take your retest for your driver's license, now you're going to have to take a writing test.
Yeah.
Even though you're not writing while you're driving, you can't even talk on the phone while you're driving.
Right.
So, but I think that's great, and I think kids need that, because what I'm doing as an educator is having the kids memorize poems and act them out. And with me working with a Spanish population, they tend to have problems putting endings on words. So memorizing poems and having them to act it out, that's a start. And we did have the Shakespeare company that came to the school a couple of weeks ago and presented something.
Cool, yeah.
You know, have you done Shakespeare?
I love doing Shakespeare. I did like a lot of Shakespeare in grad school, and I did a couple of things, a couple of Park District shows. But I love the words. It was one of those type of things that, you know, in high school, I think we read Julius Caesar, like, yeah, whatever, you know. And it really wasn't until I saw Othello with Lawrence Fishburne that, man, kind of got a sense of what he was talking about. But then really studying it in grad school and being able to break down the words, you find out that I think one of the reasons great work, not to sound corny, stands the test of time is that the basic human emotions are always at play. Jealousy, vengeance, you know, love, hate, the whole 9 yards is just fueled throughout Shakespeare. And I think that's one of the main reasons it stands the test of time. It's like it's well written, and it's like it's just timeless work.
Well, we're going to take a pause from the cause. Joining me here in the live studio is actor, producer, and director, Mr. Bradford Stevens, and we'll be right back.
Yes.